The S&P 500 and NASDAQ returning to record highs Wednesday. Hey, whatever happened to all that Middle East conflict? Well, let's ask Ross Gerber. He's CEO of Gerber Kawasaki and joins us from Santa Monica, California via Skype. Welcome back, Ross.
Thank you.
The markets. The markets are rallying today, already back in record territory. Got the S&P 500 up 0.7%. So what's the thinking on the minds of Wall Street today justifying this rally?
Well, of course, everybody's super relieved that, Trump actually, held some level of restraint today. And actually, I thought looked pretty decent with his response to Iran's attack on our bases last night. A war is just a disaster for everybody involved. So the market's relieved. Although I think Iran needs to be confronted, I don't think war solves these problems. And I think the market knows that. So Trump is very unstable. It's high risk. So I think people are pretty relieved that this isn't going to get worse, at least on the short term.
Ross, do you think investors are being a bit too complacent? It seems as though they're treating it almost as if it were a one-off today.
No, I don't think investors are complacent at all, judging by my phone calls. I think it's the opposite. Investors are still incredibly nervous and skittish. There's a ton of cash out there. This market can keep going higher. I still think, even though many of us have, I've always kind of been a bull for a while, but, a lot of the bears have come into the bull camp, and that's positive in some ways. Obviously it's a contrary indicator, but I just see so much money out there. I mean, there's $8 billion at Wealthfront. They've convinced young people to hold all this cash. It's going to find its way back in the market. So, it's a bull market. It's a great bull market. If you're not in it, I feel bad for you.
And Ross, you've been a bull about Tesla as well, and Tesla's share is certainly doing well. Musk doing a jig yesterday. Hey, the stock's nearly doubled over the last 3 months.
Watch here. Here's my jig.
There you go. The Model Y and all that, huh? So with the Model Y, are the prospects really that good that Musk should be celebrating like that?
Oh, absolutely. China is an incredible market for everything, whether it's, EVs or Starbucks or whatever. And, having a trade resolution, the timing and the ability of Tesla to open up a plant in a year, the cost differential. I mean, think about building a car in Silicon Valley, what a horrible idea that is when you're thinking about costs. It's the most expensive place you could ever build a car. Now they're going to do it in Shanghai, and I think the margins are going to be huge, but they've been so successful. The Chinese manufacturing is so impressive. The effort, the work ethic. So yeah, he's already expanding the plant. We expect them to be at, a 500,000 run rate, probably in the next 12 months. They'll get the second line up. So the following 12 months, so in 24 months, we expect China to be a 500,000 unit factory, and that doubles the size of Tesla with twice the margin. So the market's finally figuring out this story and how incredible it is, and the fact that all their competitors have fallen by the wayside as well.
On another stock, this in your alley of Hollywood, where people are always talking about toys and vinyl bobbleheads, and we're talking about Funko, that toy maker. That stock has been pretty volatile. Big rally in December, but it's been off about 10% since January 2nd. Yeah,
we owned a little bit of Funko, and we love the company. And most people don't know this company. I'm actually telling you this pick exclusively. We haven't disclosed it really, other than in our filings in the media. And, we've been adding to the position down here because it pulled back, because their private equity firm that owns Funko sold off a stake at the end of last year. It pushed the stock down from, 25, 26 down to 14. I have not seen a company growing as fast as Funko, as well managed with a wonderful product. But they do a lot of Disney toys, and they're benefiting greatly from Star Wars and the other Disney franchises like Frozen. But they opened a new store in Hollywood. It's their only store. It's amazing. It's just so cool. If you haven't been there, you should check it out. My kids loved it. You can't go in there and not buy a Funko doll or two. But the fans are rabid fans for the dolls, and they're collectors. So we are adding to our stake here. We're very bullish on this company over the long term, and the toy business as a whole. And God willing, having some toy stores again that are awesome to take our kids to.
Our thanks to Ross Gerber of Gerber Kawasaki joining us from Santa Monica, California via Skype. I'm Fred Katayama, and this is Reuters.